Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection video. What I have is from New Belgium, okay? It's Cashmerize, I don't know if it's supposed to be like Cashmerize or Cashmerize as in cash or dough, IPA. All right, it's coming at 7.5% alcohol. Let me get the specs over, 26 IBUs. Many of you are familiar with the Voodoo Ranger brand, which this is from. New Belgium's been bought out. God, if you watch one of my other videos, I remember the exact company. I don't know if it's Lion Beverage from Australia, but they're bought out by Big Beer. I mean, I think they still brew beer in Fort Collins, Colorado. I think they're still also brewing outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I could be mistaken. I didn't refresh my notes on that. I don't know. Some people care. Some people don't care about it. So I just figured, I want to say it's Lion Beverage they were bought out of, but definitely Big Beer. Usually when I see the Voodoo Ranger brand and I see the little skeleton guy, you think of IPAs. So they've been coming out with, seems like every week a new IPA. This particular one, as well as a couple others, or actually I think one other one I'm going to review very soon after this video. It was part of a compilation pack. You've seen their compilation packs. Usually they have, and I may have a pop over my shoulder, maybe not. I have, usually it's like 3 or 4. It's either 3, actually it was, I think it's 4 beers, 4 different beers, three of them, or it's 3 different styles and 4. So you get your 12. This one had 2 in the pack that I had never reviewed before. It also had the regular IPA, and I think that was it. I think there was 3 and 4 of each, but again, neither here nor there. I mean, that point, that talking point is probably not that important to you guys. But you can look it up. I'll have it pop over my shoulder in front of my face if you're wondering which pack it is. It almost seems like every month, every 2 months, they come out with a new pack and they reshuffle the deck for their IPAs. If you go under my What Is style, I've got a ton of the Voodoo Ranger beers reviewed there, and most of the time I got them from another compilation pack. So anyway, that's that. So I'm guessing this is going to be either a hazy and or just a regular straight American IPA, but we'll take a look at it. But they always have these snazzy little cans. This guy's got a jacket on there. I'm not a fashion major here, so maybe that has to do with the Cashmerized. All right, so let's crack this bad boy open and take a look at it. I'm just using my typical tulip pint glass. I kind of call it my tulip / modified Spigloo glass because it kind of has a little shape like that. Remember those ridges here, or especially in the tulip, help regenerate the carbonation to kind of stir it up a little bit to get those aromatics up towards the narrow end of the glass. So let's take a look at this. All right. So again, this got stirred up a little bit. I do pour a little bit heavier, but you got several inches. I usually like to keep it around that 2.5 inch range. I've got more like 3 or 4 inches here. White dense foam, pretty nice. Frothing on top, almost like, sometimes I've mistakenly said Miracle Whip. What I meant to say was kind of the Cool Whip / make your own, whipped cream at the top. But nice, compact, dense foam there. Looks pretty nice. Color, you kind of got a medium straw, maybe light gold color, little haze there. Remember, you probably heard me say it many times in my videos. What creates that haze, first and foremost, is the copious amounts of hops. They usually, the polyphenols from the hops, hop matter will create that. A lot of them will use some in the grist, some unmalted wheat or wheat, and sometimes a little bit of oats, and that stirs things up and makes it a little bit more murkier too because of the higher protein content. All right, so again, I don't know the grist on this. I don't check all the beers on the grist, but New Belgium may be using that. All right. But pretty nice. Like I said, that kind of that medium to dark straw color, little chill haze there. But looks almost like we're looking at a New England IPA or a hazy juicy. All right, let's take a sniff of the aroma. Oh yeah, you got very nice. You got like a It's a little citrus, maybe a little grapefruit in there. I almost get like melon-like cantaloupe aromas from the fruit. A little bit of like cotton candy. Not that there's strawberry used in this, but like I always get this from sometimes the perception of sweetness on the nose, even though we get sweetness on the taste buds. You almost get this on some of these pop varietals. I get like this cotton candy, kind of strawberry, kind of bubble gum kind of smell sometimes. But overall, nice, very good. And probably, a little bit of grapefruit, but not overwhelming. But anyway, cheers, guys. Let's take a swig of this. Pretty medium average carbonation here. One thing I didn't mention on the nose, because I'm getting on the taste buds, the malt profile. It's like a light toast, white bread light toast at the very most. So it's pretty, neutral malt profile here. On the taste buds too, again, you get that fruit, citrus. Citrus is mild. It's not overwhelming like with grapefruit orange. It's just kind of maybe a little bit of grapefruit. A little pithy. Bitterness is kind of just moderate, maybe pronounced at the very most, but I forget what I said, about 36 IBUs, 26 or 36 IBUs. So it's kind of, in that moderate range. And for, this is looking like a New England IPA. So that's kind of what we usually expect. We're not expecting, the look of or the bitterness of a West Coast IPA. Pretty smooth, no alcoholic warmth. There's something else in there I'm trying to pick up. I think it's that melon component. Like I said, you kind of get like cantaloupe. Maybe you bite a little bit into the rind of the cantaloupe. It gives you that little tartness. But pretty good. This is kind of like if I had my eyes closed and someone handed this to me, and maybe not blind with like 10 different IPAs. This is tasting very similar to a lot of their other IPAs in those variety packs. Like there's a Miami Vice looking one. There's a couple other ones. So this is kind of like tasting very, very similar to their standard IPAs. So it's not really standing out. There may be a little slight tropical fruit like pineapple, mango, but not overpowering. It's drinking pretty dry. It's not really cloyingly sweet. It's pretty crisp. It's but not as crisp as like a Munich Helles, German Pilsner, things like that. There is a little bit, now that I just said that, get a little bit on my lips, a little residual sweetness, but not too bad. I think it's drinking a little bit drier than even at the, 7.5% alcohol. But pretty nice. You can get like this lemongrass kind of taste. Maybe that's what's kind of mingling with the, some of the citrus and the tropical fruit. But again, the malt, what I mentioned before, light toast at the very most. So listen, guys, it's not, I like to do beers like this because even though there's a lot better IPAs out there, and maybe I should just kind of give this a grade, I'm just going to kind of give it a C+. There's nothing really spectacular about it. It doesn't really even stand out much amongst its peers in the Voodoo Ranger brand. What I like about it better than, say, the Imperial IPA, which is very solventy and hot with the alcohol, is that it kind of drinks a little bit smoother. It is a little bit lower alcohol, though, too, than the Imperial IPA. But it's a little bit more enjoyable, something I can probably have a couple, 2, 3 of without, being bombed or feeling like I'm, just being overwhelmed with cloyingly sweet or Jolly Rancher like beer. This one's actually drinks a little bit drier like that. But with the other Voodoo Ranger beers, this really doesn't really stand out. I mean, most of them are pretty standard. There's nothing that's really phenomenal about it. It does fall into the category, though, of, you're in the grocery store, you can't get to your local beer store, you see this 12-pack variety pack. It's a solid IPA. I mean, when I say solid, listen, you'll enjoy it. You'll sit back, you'll have it, but you're not going to beat out, Treehouse, Equilibrium, the big boys like that. Even your local brewery that may produce a nice New England hazy, juicy IPA. It's just kind of like, it's okay. And again, what I was meaning to say before, I like to review these beers because a lot of people do drink them. I mean, they're not, at the higher level of some of the beers, but you're not having to pay $24 for a 4-pack. You can get this for roughly $20 for a 12-pack. And a lot of people drink them and they just like to know a little bit more about them. So, you have that, like I said, that light citrus, maybe a little tropical fruit, mango, pineapple. Citrus is more like grapefruit, kind of moderate bitterness at the very most, not cloyingly sweet. That's about it. Again, a little bit of that strawberry bubblegum perception that I get on the nose and the taste buds. So just kind of one of your run-of-the-mill beers. I wouldn't go my way for it. If it was part of a 6-pack, 12-pack, I probably wouldn't buy it by itself. But if it's part of the compilation pack, good price point, nice to have beer in the refrigerator for some of your friends that are not going to like stick the nose up at it. And I didn't check the, I guess it was canned in, the best drink by January 2024. I'm filming this in the beginning of October of 23, so it's got to be pretty fresh. And I didn't pick up anything oxidized. So anyway, guys, New Belgian brand, the Voodoo Ranger. I've never had this one before. Cashmerize IPA. Any way you want to pronounce it. Again, C+ beer. I'd have to bring it even down to C- if I was compare it to some of the big ones. A little citrus, little tropical fruit, low bitterness. So if you don't like a lot of, but it is more like a juicy, hazy IPA beer. All right. So anyway, guys, the next beer dissection video, beer video in general, have a great day. Take care. Bye.